Well, I've taken the first step, at least, and I'm in the garden. I've already managed to throw some dirty water over myself and catch a money spider. Hopefully that's a good sign. But the real reason I'm here is, well, two things, but they both come down to the same thing. I lost my daughter in 2020, but along with losing my daughter, I lost everything else that I loved. So my garden used to be an oasis of calm. And I'll just show you. It's chaos. It used to be somewhere people would gather, friends would come along, friends would get involved with improving the garden, whether that was planting seeds or plants or painting stones, you know, like you won't believe how many different little things are hid in this garden. Especially we used to make fairy houses and things in memory of my Auntie Frances. I have roses in here in memory of my granddad. And gardening is something I did to honour their memory, but also to create a nice, safe space which was calm in the chaos of my everyday. Now, losing my daughter obviously affected how I felt about life in itself, but also my ability to look after the garden just diminished immensely. So whereas before I might come out here and potter around, enjoying the garden, but also doing little bits of upkeep, that wasn't happening because I didn't have the energy and I didn't find joy sitting in my garden. And roll on a few years, I heard one of my cats, a kitten, a beautiful savannah cat, Lala, was killed by my neighbour's dog, and I heard it. It was horrific. So that made it even worse, and I'd then experienced a trauma in the garden, which then really affected my ability to come out here and do gardening. Fortunately, my garden does look after itself in some ways. So you can see the olive tree behind. It's got an unbelievable amount of olives on it, and I don't know why, or how it's managed to so I do actually need to do something with these olives. This is the first year I've ever had this many olives. They've never grown enough to be able to do anything with. Hi Jamie, hi Mustafa, hi Maya. Thank you for joining me. I haven't really started, but with any gardening as such, apart from grabbing a bag. I don't know why I thought I'd need to clean the space first, because I'm sure I'm going to make a mess. Please, while you're here, just click on the subscribe button and support me in my healing journey. I don't know. I've got 3 cats and one is behaving weirdly. That's Suki. You like Suki? She's behaving like she's eaten a spider or something. But yeah, The reason I'm here this morning is I thought I would unbox Pot Gang's boxes. I've actually accumulated 4 now. That's how bad it's been with me coming into my garden to get things done. But this is the first one. So we've got Priya, the purple cauliflower, Padma, the pea, and Benson, the bean sprout. So we'll have a little look. These have just been left out, looking a bit rustic. Grief just really does just affect just every area of your life. It just literally creeps in, and before you know it, you've neglected huge areas of your life. Hi Ben. Hi Sanjeev. So quite cool, you get a set of instructions and seeds, and they give you all the pots you'll need. Oh, even a jar. I'm intrigued. I don't know what that's for. But I will soon find out. And this is the compost that is just amazing. If you see how much this compost, this little compact piece it makes. In fact, I can show you. I've got Suki's being entertaining. So I've got a load there. Obviously something's growing in it, but I'll take that out. And but yeah, first I need to look at the instructions. Thanks, Ben. If I give you a little bit of background as well, so since losing my daughter, she was 26 years old, to suicide, life's just changed completely, and I'm trying to find a new way of living and healing. And so I'm using my YouTube to both keep me accountable for continuing on a growth journey rather than just sink into my bed. Ooh. And obviously using things like Pot Gang or travelling all helps. Thank you. So yeah, but yeah, so Pot Gang I've used before. I'm just not very good at, as I said earlier, coming back out into my garden and maintaining it all. But we live in hope. I do like cauliflower. So we'll put Priya the cauliflower there. Stamp. Padma the pea. And Benson the bean sprout. Still in here. So yeah, so it's quite cool that it comes in a little envelope. Oh, see you, Ben. Thank you for joining. And you get a little gang mail booklet. You can send in your photos as well. And you get a grow guide. So as we can see, this is actually October's. So it gives you, this is for Benson the bean sprout, and it gives you the phase 1 to get him shooting. and it gives you clear instructions whether to grow indoors, outdoors, how much to water, whether it needs repotting, and actually it says grow in October, but better late than never. So, and then it gives you recipes. So, yeah, so Padma the pea, Priya the cauliflower, and Benson the bean sprout. So I'm actually going to start with Benson. Bear with me. My comprehension and reading skills kind of disappeared as well with my daughter. So, should we put them on? They sprout. Bean sprouts are mung bean seeds that sprout in water instead of compost, turning from hard, bland seeds to sweet, crunchy sprouts. Sprouting is the first step in a seed's life, and once it touches moisture, the seed wakes up. The shell softens and the little shoots poke out. So here we go, that's for the, we know now, the jar. It's for the jar. So, phase one. To kick off, pour half of Benson seeds into your jar and fill it with about 3/4 of water. Leave him to soak in a dark cupboard for 8 hours. Spa day. Once the 8 hours is up, take your fleece and cover the top of the jar, securing it with the elastic band. Drain out all the water, keeping the seeds inside. Make sure every last drop is out. Right, so anyway, but the first thing I need to do is use the jar. So we're going to put half in. Let's see. Your seed dealers. Ha ha ha. So if you've lost a loved one and you found it has affected other areas of your life, such as gardening, please let me know that I'm not alone with this. Because, you know, really, gardening brought me joy and it did bring hope for the future. But I do feel like I've lost that hope for the future in a way that is different to anything else I've been through. I've been through a lot of adversities in my life, but I've always been able to find hope through things like, I'm not very good at this, gardening or socialising, arranging gatherings, you know, helping people. They've always helped. Obviously, having my daughter was just the most massive source of hope, and it, like, I lived with having Diva in my life for 27 years if you include pregnancy, and to have someone as amazing as my daughter was, and then to lose her, you know, your hope for the future does go with that. Like, it's very difficult. Everything that you envisaged in your future had variables, but like, my daughter was always in that. She was always there in my future. So Diva thought I was mad as well with the garden, like with some of the things I used to do here. And but as she grew a bit older, she did start growing herbs as well. So this is something that is quite nice to do in Diva's memory, but I just need to be a bit more consistent. So if you don't see me on here for a while, please just give me a nudge. Oi, grow. You're supposed to be growing with your grief, not rotting in a bed. But yeah, so keep going. So I've actually got a water bottle, so I'm gonna try using the water. I'm just thinking now, how much did I need to put? How much water? Honestly, my head. About 3/4. So there's one of three done for now, for step one anyway. So I will keep them together over there. So Padma the pea or Priya the cauliflower. Purple cauliflower, to be honest. So let's do Priya. I know a few Priyas. Sorry, Priya, you don't look anything like a cauliflower. So planted October to December, indoors, and keep moist. And we repot it and we put it outside April, May. So this is really good for hope and planning for the future. So, you know, the winter months are quite difficult. We've got Christmas and New Year coming, and actually Mother's Day, March, April. Yeah. So actually, this is a really good vegetable to be growing. So to get Priya moving, fill the seed tray pods to the top with compost. This seems to have got a bit, but yeah, they're really good. Look, we've got the seed tray and the. I'll put some gloves on now. So what's everyone doing on their Sunday? Like, anyone else going to be getting out in their garden? Ooh. What's up, Luna? Odd gloves. I'll just crack on. Honestly, the garden is chaotic. But actually, someone came round the other day and they looked through the window and they went, "Oh, your garden's beautiful." And all I can see is what needs doing, what hasn't been done, how it's been neglected. And but actually just that one person come in and saying, "Your garden looks beautiful," kind of helped inspire me to get out today. So if you're watching this, you know who you are. Because when you looked out the window, I felt embarrassed. And you just saw the beauty in it. And it's funny, isn't it, how that can happen. Right, so the cauliflower seeds are small. You have to be careful when opening up the pack. Safety first and easy does it. This compost has been sitting there for a little bit. God knows what in it. So make a little hole about 1/2 centimetre deep in the middle of each pod and drop one seed in each and bush the compost over them nice and cosy. So feels like there's nothing in it. Ooh. Uh-oh. Yeah, no, they gave you warning for a reason. So I've lost a couple of the seeds. There's one. Right. Oh, actually, it will just be one side of the pot, probably. That's what's happened in previous pots that I've done. And we'll put a little sticker on the side so we know who's in there. So give her water so the compost is moist, then pop some cling film over the tray. This helps with humidity. So I'll do that inside. To be honest, the compost is really quite damp anyway. So yeah, it's so good in a way. Like, it's a lot of effort, or it feels like a lot of effort to get out here and do it. And when you look at what you have to do, like, there's very little hard work in it. Like, you just, yeah. So if you haven't already, please do click on the subscribe. You'll help me get to St. John. That's where I want to go. I want to go to St. John in the Virgin Islands and just work on healing, and it's just idyllic. If you have a look. Oh, so usually there'd be two lots of seeds go in this, but actually this time there's just one side is for the cauliflower, and then Padma the pea goes straight outside anytime between October and December, but indoors if it's freezing. Keep moist. Well, no difficulty in that in England. And you munch it February to April. So again, a good one for hope for, getting you through till next spring. So Padma is a tough girl, so we'll keep her outside from the off. Fill one of your large pots right to the top with compost, breaking up any chunks as you go and smooth over the surface. So this is good. Over there. Little plane up there. This compost is amazing. It's made from repurposed coconuts, and it's quite quick to bring into its proper form. So you just have to add water to the compost block. Takes about 20 minutes, half an hour. I'd say just don't get nervous with the water, just chuck it in there. If you're using Pot Gang, please throw in any tips. I'm doing October's now. Oh, incoming cat. Or how to get your cats a bit more active, helping rather than obstructing. So yeah. Right, you mind? So here's the big pot. So make 3 holes 2 centimetres deep, space 10 centimetres apart across the compost. I'm no good at measurements, but let's see. Let's go do it in a triangle. Let's see. Forgot who we was doing then. Padma the P. It's seedy business. Hi, Harry. Sorry, I feel like I've been ignoring everyone. Danielle, White Play, getting stuck into the growing hope for the future. So we've actually got 6 seeds. So I suppose at least if it goes wrong. So it says you'll have some pea seeds left over. Hang on to these. We'll use them for a second round in spring. Ding ding. I don't need to water her. It says water her compost so that it's slightly moist. This helps with the sprouting process, activating the dormant seed. Well, the soil's wet. It's damp already. Pop her outdoors. Ideally, we want her in a spot that gets direct sunlight. So my garden gets quite a lot of sunlight, to be fair. And a little sticker to remind us who she is. I think we could all do with a sticker. Yeah. I forget who I am. Like, I'm the boss. I forget that sometimes. Right, you see the rogue cat in the tree? How are we doing? What do you reckon? Shall I do another? I've got like 3 more boxes. Get rid of the box, actually. I'm really behind. That's such a waste. I mean, that's hope in itself. I'm paying for the subscription, and then the days turn into weeks, into months. So let's put you back. And that's to go on the pea shoots. No, the bean sprouts, sorry. Later. Oh, I have got these as well, but I don't really need to. I feel like they've got stickers on the side. That's empty. So next, we're on a roll. We're on a roll. What have we got? We've got some brilliant drawings by Mole, age 26 from Hackney. Nairi Saunders, aged 59 from Salisbury. And Lucy, Martha and Hazel, aged 13, 12 and 8 from Crouch End. It is like you're part of a gang. It's quite cool. And I got another pot of compost. I don't know what happened here. That didn't open that very well. You know what? I love garlic and onions. So, put it there. Garlic, onions, and pea shoots. So we're invited to draw lemon chilli, honeycomb tomato, golden courgette, mint, patty pan, spring onion, green zebra tomato and spinach, which I'm guessing are all coming up. So and we've got here, it tells us what's coming in December. So if you're thinking about pot gang, Orlando the orange pepper, Syra, I think I've said that right, the chocolate chili, and Romeo the rosemary for December. And we are in November, so technically I'm not late. I'll leave them there. So let's do garlic. Plant November to January, outdoors. It says never indoors. Slightly moist, and you can munch it July to August. And we don't want it soaking wet, and this is quite wet actually. So I think I'll leave that, and I think shallots are going to be the same. When you plant a shallot, you're not planting a seed, you're planting a living section of a parent plant. It carries the exact same genetic material and already contains the structures needed to duplicate itself. A basal plate, which is the flat bit at the bottom, a tiny dormant shoot, and a store of carbs and nutrients. It's 2 shallots to one of the big pots, and each teeny shallot will multiply into loads more, so they need space to spread. So, and we've got 2 shallots. Again, yeah, not too much water. I think I'll leave this until maybe tomorrow. I'll try and do it in the next few days. So please subscribe and click for notifications so that you get notified that I'm doing it. But I think I'll just potter around the garden. Now I'm up and doing stuff. This one. Has anyone else got plans for gardening? Love all this garlic. I've got loads of garlic that probably needs planting because it's definitely no good for eating now. Yeah, you can go in there. Thank you so much. Just thinking, shall I carry on? Shall I leave you there? Do you want to watch me potter around? You may as well. If you like cats, you might get a few surprises. These away. I may as well just tidy up a little bit. Let me put this on. Ooh. Need to go and put Benson somewhere dark. I'll give you a little tour of my neglected garden. It's really sad. Let's move you around. So there's my olives, which, let's start with the best, because look, can you believe all those olives are on a tree in England? This rose tree needs a little bit of help. The herb garden I created in memory of Diva. It's basically an upright herb garden. Needs a lot of work. Here's some pots from Pot Gang that are neglected. This is crazy. This is actually a kiwi tree. It does grow kiwis, but so far they've all been too small to do anything with. Oh look, there's one. You can see it? Oh, there's a few there. But yeah, they never seem to grow big enough. I do wonder sometimes if I looked after it better, whether it would be. I've planted clover in the grass, but as you can see, it needs a lot of work. We've got a lot of but the butterfly bush is beautiful every year. And whoop, technical help. There we go, we're back. And there's my little pond. I don't think there's anything interesting in there at the minute. I did used to have lots of frogs. But it's actually right, as soon as my gimbal's playing up, I'm gonna call it a day, and I'll see you next time. And hopefully you'll find some hope and healing in your day, whether it's because you're grieving or going through difficulties of your own. But for whatever reason you've joined me, please do subscribe, share it with anyone that you feel needs to maybe find hope and healing themselves, whether they need to understand what how it is to be a grieving mother. Yeah, please share. Thank you. Have a good day.